For today's Crossroads game between the Bethel University Pilots and Bethel and Taylor Trojans. As a championship here at your institution, Taylor University asks each of you to embrace the NAIA's 5 core character values of respect, integrity, responsibility, sportsmanship, and servant leadership. Create a positive environment throughout today's contest. And now for today's starting lineups. First, for our visitors from Bethel. Starting at guard, 6'2" senior from Bethel, Tennessee. Number 13, Garrett Sugar. At forward, a 6'6" junior from Valparaiso, Indiana. Number 15, Nathan Curtis. At guard, 6'3" sophomore from Napoli, Indiana. Number 21, Trent Edwards. At guard, 6' senior from Trafalgar, Indiana. Number 22, Jared D. Hunt. And at forward, 6'8" freshman from Williamstown, Michigan. Number 23, Brandon Hunt. The Pilots are coached by Steve Draven and assisted by Mark Holsberg, Scott Holsberg, Elijah Andrews, and Ryan McDaniel. Get on your feet for the starting line. Taylor Trojans. Starting at forward, 6'6" senior from Edinburgh, Ohio. Number 0, Jason Hubbard. And guard, 6'1" sophomore from Lewisburg, Indiana. Number 2, Gavin Yoon. Hamilton, Ohio, number 10, Jackson Rubin. And guard, 6'4" sophomore from Lebanon Township, Ohio, number 15, Hayden Berman. And guard, 6'4" senior from Woodford, Indiana, number 34, Aaron Hahn. Your Trojans are coached by Josh Andrews.
Back inside Odell Arena for the second game of our women's and men's basketball doubleheader. Glad you are with us. The Trojans coming in trying to avenge a 75-66 loss in Mishawaka back in January. Taylor wins the opening tip. They go from left to right in white with purple numbers and purple letters. Jackson Lewis trying to work around the Hahn screen. Nathan Ertz will defend Jason Hubbard, the Trojans' top rebounder, and score. Furman near side, drives, stops league logo, cut off, trying to tuck, trying to find some space. Bad pass to the baseline, swapped away by Trent Edwards, and here comes Bethel the other way from right to left in blue. Edwards with that protective face mask guarded by Furman near the volleyball line. Almost knocked away, Sudicum. Actually make that Ertz trying to keep it away from Hubbard. Near side Edwards now to Ertz on the left block. Kicking out near side to D-Hart, an excellent shooter for Bethel. 10 to shoot for the Pilots, their first possession of the game. Ertz bangs with Hubbard, right hand hook, front rim short, and slapped and swiped out of the air by the Trojans' Caden Furman. Both teams empty on their opening possession. Taylor from left to right and white. Lewis knifes down the lane, turns away from trouble, left corner, 3-ball, Yoon, so wish. A nice sight to see for Gavin Yoon, who struggled to find his shot the last couple of games. Just 2 of 8 from 3 in the loss to Mount Vernon Nazarene Tuesday. Sudicum thought about it, was Edwards down the left side of the lane, stops, left elbow extended. Up top to Ertz. Sudicum spins back and gives off to D-Hart. Jab, Lewis got into the air, nice little between the legs bounce, as now it'll be outside the arc and Brandon Hunt, the talented freshman for Bethel. 4 to shoot for Edwards. Right side, off balance, 2, back rim long. 2 Trojans were there. It goes off the hand of the Bethel man, Garrett Sudicum. So the Pilots 0 of 2 from the floor to start. Taylor 1 for 1, and they lead 3-0. A little pressure in the backcourt here from BU. Their uniforms have white letters that spell out Bethel and white numbers. Jackson Lewis guarded by DeHart, near sideline to Yoon, our only score in the game so far. Between the circles, Hubbard back to Yoon, 1-3 this afternoon, off the near side of the rim, short. Furman tries to come in and save it, and as he tried to save it, he stepped out of bounds, and that will give it back to the Pilots of Bethel. Bethel comes in 7th in the Crossroads League, 1 game ahead of Taylor, who comes in 8th. The Pilots 12-13 overall, Taylor 8-16. So Trojans trying to put together a late run as we enter the final 2 weeks of the regular season. Edwards holds the ball in front of his chest, had DeHart off of a screen. Furman now will pass off Jackson Lewis over to Sudicum. Mismatch, Lewis knifes his way in, tries to dive for it, and it'll be called for the foul as he got tangled up with Garrett Sudicum, the point guard. It was a switch with Hubbard and Lewis, and that meant that Nathan Ertz, the 6'6 junior, make it Brandon Hunt, the 6'8 freshman, had Lewis pinned behind him. And then Lewis did a great job to knife in, poke the ball free, just couldn't come away with the ball. Was called for the foul as he got the legs of Sudicum far side. Sudicum holds right hip. DeHart long 2 off a screen. Swish for Jared DeHart. That gets Bethel on the board. DeHart, their leading scorer, or second leading scorer at 16 points per game. Zach Owens, their leading scorer at 17, comes off the bench for the Pilots. Hubbard goes right around his defender for a 2-hand jam. Easy money for Hubbard as he found the space and then jammed it home hard. DeHart, Lewis guards him. DeHart drives over his head. He finds Edwards with a pinpoint, picturesque, beautiful pass, and Edwards tickles the twine from 3. 5-5 in the first half. DeHart threw that over his head with his back to his teammate, and the ball hit nothing but net. 5-all, 3 minutes into the first half. Hubbard hands off to Furman, trying to shake away from Sudicum. Hubbard near side as Taylor clears it out one-on-one. Trying to rip baseline. Good defense by Ertz. Hubbard bluffs the mid-range 2, 7 to shoot. Trying to turn the corner. Baseline reverse layup. High out to Furman with 4. Far sideline contested 3 over. Sudicum is nothing but the bottom of the cup. Haymakers being thrown early. The picturesque pass from DeHart for a 3. And then a desperation heave from Furman. Sudicum almost loses it on the near baseline as Bethel's got the rock down 3. Spinning, Edwards, nice find, weak side for a righty layup is Trent Edwards, and he was fouled on the layup, and an and one opportunity coming for the visitors from Mishawaka. That's 5 early points for Trent Edwards. First on Hahn, second on Taylor here in the half. Edwards to the line where he's shooting just 55%, 6 of 11 in his freshman season. Nope, off target left, or making the sophomore out of Napanee. Taylor loses it as Bethel tried to save it. They threw it right into Taylor's Aaron Hahn. Left corner Yoon blows right by his man Sudicum. Reverse layup will just dance off the rim. Hahn's there for the miss. Re-engages, left elbow, Furman up top. Mid-post right, this is Hubbard, rising for a long 2, almost got it, but he got Ertz to foul him on the forearm. Foul on Ertz, his first, team's first. And that brings us to a media timeout. Just over 4 minutes into this first half. It's Taylor 8, Bethel 7 on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
4 minutes and 1 second have been played here inside Odell Arena. Offense has been at a premium. Taylor shooting and Bethel both shooting 3 of 5. The difference right now, Taylor's made 2 of their 3 threes. Bethel has made their only 3-point attempt. One change to the Bethel 5. Their leading scorer, Zach Owens, has come in after the break. He replaces the starter point guard, Garrett Sudicum. No changes to Taylor's 5. As in comes Jason Hubbard, fresh off of his season-high 32 points against Mount Vernon Nazarene Tuesday. Makes the first free throw with 1 more to come. Jason's been stellar in the last 2 second halves here at home, scoring 25 points in each. He has scored 30 in 2 of the last 3 games and has been on an absolute tear for about the last almost month. Knocks it in with his right hand. And Taylor's lead is up to 3, tying their biggest of the afternoon. An early 4 for Hubbard. Bethel from right to left. Again, it's Owens. The only change is he has it right side, guarded by Lewis outside the arc. Picking up the bounce. DeHart faking a 3, crossing over Edwards, got to the paint, turns around from short and swishes that one home. 7 early points for Edwards, 7 of their 9, as Edwards comes in averaging just 2 per game. He's got 7 already. Edwards, a sophomore from Napanee, Indiana, and Northwood High School. Hahn trying to back down Hunt on the left elbow. Off to Yoon, who got the scoring going with a 3. 1-point Taylor lead. Hubbard will be called for the offensive foul as he got tangled up with Edwards on the right side. Edwards was losing his balance by the time that Hubbard got the ball, and they'll say that Hubbard cleared him away with his left hand as he was trying to back him down. That's the first on Jason and the third one on Taylor here in the first half so far. Tough break for the Trojans as they had a mismatch with the smaller Trent Edwards at 6'3", $165 against the 6'6", 215 Hubbard. Hunt, straightaway 3 ball, front rim short, soaring in. Furman for the miss. Hunt, 41% from 3. Don't want to let him get too many open looks. Furman, hesitation, goes right to the rim. Circus layup was no good, but that's because Furman got fouled on the arm. Foul is on Brandon Hunt. That'll send Furman to the line. Missed the Marion game a week ago Saturday with a lower body injury. Came back, had 10 points in 29 minutes on 4 of 12 shooting on Tuesday against Mount Vernon Nazarene. And 85% from the line, misses that one off the front rim. A rare first free throw miss for the third best free throw shooter in the league. Brandon Hunt out. Wesley Burst, 6'5", out of Modesto, California, in for the Pilots. They just bring 6'4" to 6'6" guys off the bench in droves. Furman missed the first one short. This one is right through the middle. 4 for Furman. Taylor's lead back up to a deuce at 11-9. And their top scorer for Bethel, Trent Edwards, with 7 today, takes an early breather. Drew Green, who had 14 off the bench when these teams met back in January, comes in for the first time. Gives off to Owens as Hubbard guards him. They lose him on a switch. Long free throw line jump shot was short. It was tapped away by Ayrton, rebounded by Hubbard of Taylor. First rebound for the Trojans' top rebounder, Hubbard. Trying to go in here on Aerts, picks up the bounce. Couldn't find Hahn on the backdoor cut. 11-9, the Taylor lead. So you've played 5.5 minutes here in the first half. Lewis with Aerts on a mismatch, trying to cross his way in. Double team there, free throw line, Hahn. Aerts able to recover. Lewis crossing with a right hand spin, lost his footing. Low bounce pass, finds a contested Yoon 3 right in the face of Wesley Burst. 2 for 3 start from distance for Gavin Yoon and the Trojans. Take an early 5-point lead. 3 missed on the other end, and Yoon's got the rebound up to the outletting Hahn for a right-hand layup. A huge swing for the Trojans as Hahn showed off the wheels. Owens guarded by Hubbard and the Taylor man-to-man. Aerts throws it right to the official, and that's a turnover. DeHart cut, and Aerts threw it right to where DeHart was. Taylor has scored 6 in a row as Zach Owens has a brief conversation as he and Jacob Kinsey both standing in the same real estate in the backcourt. Jeff Clayton in as well, along with Grant Niehaus for the Trojans. They send Furman, Lewis, and Hahn to the Trojan bench. So Yoon and Hubbard, the only 5 starters out there for Taylor. Janai Griffith and Jake Johnson come in for Bethel. Hubbard rips Burst defending, backing up, grabs him around the back, got him in the air, and that's an easy foul on Burst. Burst gave Hubbard a little hug, and then Jason fought through the contact and will go to the line for 2. First on Burst, third one on Bethel. Jason scored at least 20 points in 10 of the last 11 games during this 11-game stretch, averaging 25 and shooting 53%. Has been on just another level here in these last month plus. 5 for him as he's a perfect 3 of 3 from the line. The problem for Taylor during this stretch is they have struggled to find a second and third scorer to join the party with Hubbard. That was the name of the game as Hubbard and Cade Ruxager went blow for blow on Tuesday night. Just not enough help for Hubbard here in the last couple of weeks. He's got 6 early points, 4 of 4 from the stripe, and Taylor has doubled up Bethel. They lead 18-9. They're on an 8-0 run. Owens with a switch. Clayton guards him, picks to the bounce free throw line. Near corner burst. Wants to go to Griffith. Good steal by Niehaus on the baseline. Bethel turns it over for the second time, and now Jacob Kinsey will race all the way to the front court. Hubbard perimeter left. His only field goal tonight was a 2-hand dunk. Double team comes with Owens, and as Hubbard tried to whip it to Kinsey on the near side, it was deflected out of play by the aforementioned Zach Owens, the former Huntington Forester. Came to Bethel in his second season after a brief stop at Emporia State in Kansas. Yoon to Clayton between the circles, outside the arc, gives off to Niehaus, high right side, guarded by Johnson. Owens guards Kinsey. Hubbard spins baseline on Burst. Griffith right there to help for the double team. 9 to shoot. Hubbard's pass deflected to Niehaus. Over to Kinsey. Sets those feet. His 3 is off the rim. And then Clayton fights for it. It's going to stay here as Clayton was sandwiched between Green and Griffith. Great hustle there by Jeff Clayton, and he almost came down with the rebound anyway. Foul is on Green, his first. Team's 4th for Bethel. Taylor 5 of 8 from the floor, 3 of 5 from 3. They come in as one of the worst offensive shooting teams in the league. And then Owens double teams Hubbard on the baseline. He gets called for the reach-in. That's number 1 on him and number 5 on BU. Owens made sure to stand right there to block the open spin to the baseline, because when that happens, that's when Jason goes viral with baseline jams. 18-9, Taylor lead on an 8-0 burst. Niehaus to Yoon, low pass, and the Trojans turn it over for the 3rd time in the half. 2-on-1, Johnson high pass goes in, missed it, but Niehaus fouled him as he was late to get in the air and go vertical. It was a bad pass by Niehaus, then tried to make up for it on the other end, but got into position late. First one on him and the 4th one on Taylor. Jake Johnson to the line, 6'5" freshman out of Oldenburg, Indiana. Had 8 points on 2 of 3 shooting in the comeback effort against Marion earlier this week. Will make the first free throw. He's got 1 more to come. Luke Huffer was going to check in, but his jersey's in the locker room. So Luke's got to go back and get his jersey out of the locker room as his housemates are laughing to our right. So Caden Furman will have to come in and give Yoon the breather. So Huffer took the shooting shirt off. There was no number 3 jersey underneath, and you need that to play. Bad pass, telegraph Johnson. His shot is spiked off the glass by Jason Hubbard. Kinsey wheels Hubbard down the lane, 1-on-1 versus Griffith. It'll dance off, but Jason gets his own miss and puts it in for 2. It looked like Johnson was going to have an easy layup, but no. The shot blocker Hubbard came in and destroyed it off the high glass. Clayton switches on Owens to make him pick it up. Oh, Hubbard almost got another block. Burst had it in. Kinsey pokes at it, still free. Niehaus comes out of the scrum with it, and now Hubbard gives off to Furman left side. 3-on-3, transition, 3-ball. Furman is swished! Timeout, Bethel! The Trojans are skipping with juice in the first half. 23-11 on the second triple for Caden Furman here in the first.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Taylor still shooting the lights out, 64%, 4 of 6 from 3. Bethel just 4 of 11 and 1 of 3 from downtown. The Trojans right now have outscored Bethel 13-2, and they lead by 12 as we approach 11:30 to go. Almost losing it. Johnson is poking at it. Was Kinsey for Taylor. Burst to Griffith, right hand, beautiful hook over Clayton for a soft 2. Janai Griffith, the big man, 6'9", 240 out of the UK, gets Bethel back to within 10. 3-ball Furman right in the grill of Griffith. Hello, Caden Furman. 3 for 3 from deep for 10 points. He has struggled to shoot the ball. No struggles today for 15 and white. Owens drives. He's got to deal with Hubbard. Lost it. Got it back. Perimeter right. Dancing, shaking, almost traveled. Top of the key. Johnson double team there. Near side burst goes baseline. Stepped out of bounds. And the Rocks going back to Taylor. Great answer from Furman after the Griffith 2 on the other end. Owens along with Green exit. DeHart and Sudicum, their starting backcourt back in. They'll hound Kinsey with a double team in the backcourt. Pivots trying to find help. Finds it in Hubbard. 4 seconds to get it across. 3, 2. Back tapped away from Hubbard. Niehaus says, here you go, Caden Furman for a 3. That was halfway down. Hubbard tried to put it up in midair and looked for a foul that did not come. First miss from Furman from the floor today. Taylor's lead is still 13. Griffith trying to overpower Furman, and he does. Furman, smart job just to stay down and not draw an easy and 1. And the Trojan lead is cut down to 11 with 10:39 remaining in this opening half. Left corner Furman, who's been nuclear hot. Handoff from Clayton, turns the corner, pulls up, free throw line short, and only blue jersey men are there. It's Johnson with the rebound for Bethel. Sudicum gets into Furman, who now grimaces a little bit, maybe favoring that left knee. Bursts, a rare 3, swished from the near side. Just 28% is burst from 3. That was a clean-looking release. And Taylor's got to take a timeout with Furman a little bit hobbled. Back-to-back buckets, a 5-0 spurt for Bethel. They trail Taylor by 8. It will be a 30-second Taylor timeout. Taylor ahead by 8, 26-18.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Offense starting to pick up here for Bethel after they trailed 26-13, matching their biggest deficit today. They're on a 5-0 spurt thanks to the burst 3-point basket. Caden Furman remains in for Taylor. Gavin Yoon and Aaron Hahn back out there for Taylor, as well as Hubbard gets a well-deserved breather. Clayton inside the left arc, turns and faces the basket. Griffith aggressively poking at the ball. Faking a long 2 left side as Hahn draws 2. Wanting to go down low to Clayton. Bulldozes his way in. Back rim and drops on a crafty move for Aaron Hahn. Hahn put that shoulder in, cleared space, and pushes the Taylor lead back up to 10. Bethel from right to left as Brandon Hunt comes back in. Goes one-on-one, baseline right with Hahn. Out to DeHart on the right sideline. Hahn will switch to him on the man-to-man. Near side, this is Sudicum. Yoon picks him up in the man-to-man. Finally gets the ball off to Griffith. The big man directing traffic with his left hand, dribbles out, pitching out to DeHart. 3's in the air. Whistle was blown. Was it before the shot or after? No shot. They're going to call Hahn for the foul for trying to fight his way through a screen. That's the second one on Aaron. And Jackson Lewis will come in for Taylor along with Grant Niehaus. Jacob Kinsey out, and Hahn will be the one to take a breather. So Taylor going outside of Clayton right now. They are really, really small, trying to deal with the 6'9", 240 Griffith and the 6'8", $180 Hunt. Everyone else is guards out there for Bethel, including Mr. Johnson's got the ball right here. Once DeHart and gets it to him. Right side Griffith screen. Clayton switches. They leave DeHart open for a 3. He misses it off the left side, but Griffith had the rebound. Niehaus came in, tried to get it away, but Griffith able to rip it out of his hands. Then Clayton smacks the ball out of there with his right palm. A dangerous try there as the Trojans left the deadly D-Hart at 44% from three open. He's the fourth best three-point shooter by percentage in the league. Had a wide open look, but he missed it off the left side of the rim. They pop it up to him at the volleyball line on the baseline inbounds. And now runs around the Griffith screen. Try to go back to him down the lane. Clayton got his hand in there. Griffith missed it as he was planted on the floor. First on Jeff, number 6 on Taylor. And now Griffith will have to earn his 2 points at the line with Bethel down by 10. 3 seconds shy of 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Griffith transferred in from Lakeland Community College in Illinois out of Stoke-on-Trent, UK. First one for the big man, swished. 5 for Griffith off the bench. Averages 6 per game. That stroke looks pretty good for a guy that's shooting 64% from the line. Rolls that one over the front rim, leans her in with an ear-to-ear grin. The big man will check out, and Ertz will come back in to spell him. 8-point Taylor lead. It's been as big as 13 here in this first half. Bethel has not led. We've been tied once at 5-5. Furman, defended by Sudicum in the backcourt. Across the timeline, this will be Jackson Lewis. He'll wave Niehaus in on the far sideline. Taylor in white shoots on the basket to our right, leading by 8. Clayton fakes a handoff to Niehaus, does so to Furman. Can't step into a 3, drives baseline. Fakes, got his man in the air and banked it in as Hunt went soaring in the air like an eagle. 12 for Furman, who paces the Trojans here. Lead back to 10. Hunt bangs against Jackson Lewis, lays it in, and they'll call the Trojans for a block, and the Taylor bench is beside themselves. They get Lewis for the body block. That's the second on the Trojan point guard. And almost as important, it's the 7th one on Taylor here in the half. And now Hubbard will come back in for Taylor as Jake Johnson gets a breather for Bethel. The masked man, Trent Edwards, back in. So Lewis is out. Hubbard will come in. And that probably means that Yoon's going to have to run the point here for the Trojans. Hunt, an excellent free throw shooter. Trying to get the and one at 82% is the freshman big man. Spins that one off the rim, and Niehaus is there for the miss. Bethel 4 of 6 from the line here in the first half. Taylor is 5 of 6. The big difference right now, Taylor's made 2 more field goals and 3 more threes than the Pilots. BU chases Hubbard all the way near midcourt. Diving on the ball as they stripped it away from Hubbard was Sudicum. Then the ball tapped in the air. Niehaus trying to save it back in. Furman caught between 2 players. It goes back into DR, who goes up. His circus layup was no good, but no one boxed out Ertz, and he guided it in with a right hand from the left side of the rim. The Trojans were so close to getting that ball away, but now their lead has been trimmed down to 6. As we pass 8 minutes remaining here in half number 1. Hubbard, the Trojans' leading scorer on the day with 8. Niehaus spins away from him. Now will bounce it to him high left side. Trying to take Ertz to the rack. Double team there. Hubbard spinning out of it, trying to find help. Whips it up top to the open Gavin Yoon. Oh, he put Hunt on skates and then hit a 3 right in his eye hole. 3rd triple for Yoon as he almost put Hunt on his butt. And Taylor leads by 9, 33-24. D-Hart has his pass tapped by Clayton, but Edwards able to pounce onto it. Far sideline, D-Hart trying to get a mismatch here with Clayton. We'll see if Jeff can use that 6'7" length. Mismatch, Niehaus v. Hunt. Right block. They skip it up top. Sudicum bluffs on a 3 with Hubbard. No look dish. They left Ertz wide open as 3 guys slid to Sudicum. Back to a 7-point hole for Bethel. 7:02 remaining in the first half. Taylor's gone 6 of 9 from 3. Trying to find their shooting touch after some tough games. Shooting the deep ball. Yoon off the handoff from Hubbard. Sneaks it in, and Yoon's got 11 first half points. Up and down we go with Taylor leading by 9, 35-26. Niehaus guards D-Hart. Sudicum fakes the 3 drives, fakes the pass, and lays it in beautifully with a right hand. Oh, look at that one from Garrett Sudicum. Had that ball on a string and then laid it in from the left side of the rim with the offhand. Taylor with the rock, leading by 7. Clayton. 1 dribble. They can't get it to Furman. He'll dribble, hand off to Hubbard. Trying to turn the corner on Ertz. Goes right in. Ball was out of his hand on the way up. Taylor's fans look for a foul. It goes down as a block with Ertz. He's got it near side on Clayton. Clayton bodies him. Ertz loses it. And then Clayton says, I'm going to take this ball. Thank you very much. And as Ertz stepped on it, he also had possession and stepped on the baseline. So Taylor will get the rock back with 6:07 remaining in the first half. Great hustle and tenacity there from Jeff Clayton. 7-point Taylor lead, 6:07 remaining in the first half here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
With our great crew, Caroline and Bryn, our stage manager is Javen Johnson. Rick Johnson here with you. 6:07 to go first half out of the media timeout. Bethel will pressure Jason Hubbard in the backcourt. He runs away from that. Bad pass was deflected. Niehaus able to get it into the Taylor front court as Taylor almost turned it over for the 6th time here in the opening half. They gave it away just 4 times Tuesday. Then the loss to Mount Vernon Nazarene with 19 assists. Taylor shooting 60% from the floor and 6 of 9 from 3. Younes, 3 of 4 from distance. Will bounce it in, baseline left, Clayton. Trying to steal his way in. Clayton got that extra edge and floats it in with a right hand. Nice move by Jeff Clayton. Taylor up 37-28 with 5:33 remaining in the first half. Left block Hunt trying to take it right back at Clayton. Picks with a bounce, whips it far side to the masked man in Edwards. Drives in through contact, missed off the glass. Hubbard flies in to haul in the miss. That's his 5th board of the early going. Clayton, Hubbard, Niehaus, Yoon, and Kinsey, the Taylor 5. Kinsey off the handoff, switched on to by Edwards in the Bethel man-to-man. Yoon turns the order, down to Clayton, blocked from behind, and that's a foul on Garrett Sudicum on a beautiful screen and roll that Yoon and Clayton worked on for hours in practice on Thursday when that snowstorm hit. Foul was on Sudicum, his first, number 6 on Bethel. First of 2, Clayton missing this one long off the heel. Jeff shooting just 45% from the line this season. So the foul on Sudicum, his first, number 6 against Bethel. Second one for Jeff, back rim long as well. And it'll be remaining a 9-point Taylor lead at 37-28. Bethel shooting 52% from the floor, but Taylor's outscored them by 12 from beyond the arc. Ertz, a little hesitation, baseline tiptoe, far side to Edwards with the mask and bluffs the pass to his left. Top of the key, Sudicum, guarded by Yoon and the Taylor man-to-man. Near side, Dehart wants to go into Griffith with 9 to shoot. Griffith left block with 7, with 6, with 5. Clayton pokes at it. Kinsey didn't see it from behind. Griffith has got it. Out to the volleyball line. Sudicum lets up a desperation heave. It's an air ball, and it'll go back to the Trojans as Clayton putting on some of his best defensive work today. And Jeff will get a breather, and in comes freshman Grant Jones from nearby Muncie, Indiana. Taylor still shooting the ball beautifully at 62% as Bethel puts the full court press on. They've got 4 there, 5 in the backcourt. Now they back off as Dehart defends Kinsey. They were late to go on the half-court trap. Kinsey wall-to-wall, missed it off the high glass as he turned around and looked for a foul. Bethel the other way with Dehart, near side Ertz. Hubbard cuts him off, goes vertical, missed, rolls off the rim. Niehaus taps it out, and Yoon will snatch it away. 3-on-2. Hubbard outraces everyone, angles in for a right-hand layup. Third Trojan in double figures, Hubbard with an even 10. And the Taylor lead back up to 11. Edwards cuts, kick out, catch and shoot 3. Ertz bangs it in off the rim. Ertz just 23% from 3, but he gets one to go here. 7 for the big man for Bethel, and the Trojan double-figure lead is short-lived. Down to 8 at 39-31 with 3:45 and ticking here in the opening half from Odell Arena. Taylor trying to even the season series after a tough loss in Mishawaka back in January. Hubbard, left side screen is there. He does not take it, goes to the right, runs to the Aerts bump, gets to his sweet spot on the baseline, missed it, steps in, gets his own miss. Niehaus wanted to bullet it down low to Jones. How about a left corner, Yoon 3. It's off the left side of the rim, short, as Yoon misses his second triple of the day, now 3 of 5. Up the floor comes DeHart. Edwards trying to take Yoon to the rack. Stops on the right elbow as Bethel shoots on the basket to our left in blue. DeHart around a screen. They leave Edwards open. Awkward looking shot will spin off the rim as his right arm came jetting in before he let the jumper fly. 7th first half rebound for Jason Hubbard. Griffith comes and switches out to him. Niehaus will get it. And now off to Kinsey in the half court set. Jones out to set the high middle ball screen. Yoon catch and shoot 3 ball off the left side of the rim. That's back-to-back misses short for Yoon after making 3 of his first 4. Sudacum with a sleeve on that right knee. DeHart good bluff. Got Yoon in the air. Right sideline catch and shoot 3 ball. Sudacum no good. Hits the floor. Nobody went to go get it until finally the Taylor Trojans' Grant Niehaus came slashing in to snag it. 4 players just looked at that ball just in between all of them. Kinsey around multiple screens. Yoon gives off to Niehaus from straight away, waving where he wants the screen to come. 1 dribble and a handoff to Hubbard with Aerts guarding him. 8-point Taylor lead, rising 3 ball. Oh, and that one was from way outside for Jason Hubbard on his first triple. Taylor 7 of 12 from downtown, and it's back up to a double-figure lead for the home side, up 42-31. 2:05 remaining before half. Griffith guarded by Jones, looking for help, finds DeHart, as Kinsey will trail him on the high right side. Near side Edwards, entry pass, left block, Griffith spins in, angles in, missed it, and then Niehaus rips it away, and then Griffith just gives him a big old bear hug from behind. Griffith tried to cozy up to Kinsey, or Niehaus. First on the big man from the UK, that's the 7th one on Bethel, and that puts Taylor in the 1-1 with Grant Niehaus. Subs aplenty. Huffer will come in for the shooter. Furman and Bailey Hester back in for Taylor, replacing Kinsey and Yoon. Grant a 63% free throw shooter on the year. This is the front end of a 1-1, which he will have roll off the rim. It remains an 11-point Taylor lead with just about 100 seconds remaining in the first half. Drew Green came in during the timeout. Aerts trying to find his second triple. That one woefully short. Read his own miss. Niehaus dives on the floor, tried to get to it. A teammate couldn't. Then Griffith goes in and Hubbard blocked the shot. And then Jason almost ripped out his hair. He was so shocked that a foul was called against him. Second on Jason, 8th one against Taylor in the half. They'll say that he got him with the body before he came in and knocked that shot away. Niehaus had it, but then the ball was taken away from him as he tried to give it away to Hubbard, taken away by Aerts. And Griffith will swish his 3rd free throw of the day. Here comes Huffer in for Hubbard. Kinsey back in after a brief breather to replace Niehaus. So Hubbard with 13 points and 7 rebounds. That's the most points and the most rebounds by any player in the game. He's got to go to the bench for the final 96 seconds with the 2 fouls. Gets an encouraging pat on the knee as Griffith misses a second free throw. Furman had it, but because his arm was hooked by Aerts, that's why he didn't haul in the rebound with one hand. And now we'll go to the other end for a 1-1 with Caden Furman. But Hubbard's got to take the breather with the 2 personals. Griffith will exit for Bethel. Returning are Jake Johnson along with Brandon Hunt. Jeff Clayton will make an appearance. He replaces Grant Jones. 10-point Taylor lead at 42-32. A 1-1 for Caden Furman. KJ 1 of 2 from the line today, but more importantly, 4 of 6 from the field. Came in his last 10 games, shooting just 30% from the floor. Furman, the 3rd best free throw shooter in the Crossroads League, makes that one with 1 more to come. 13 for Furman. And in the last 10 games, we mentioned the struggling shooting. Has averaged just 12 points, but he surpassed that here in the first half alone. Trying to get the 14 here and take over the game high lead in that category. Gets the home court roll off the front rim and glass. And Taylor up by a game high 12, 44-32, with 95 seconds separating us from halftime. Bethel from right to left with Drew Green, the backup point guard. Out to Burse, attacks aggressively, had Furman on his back. Good pivots from Burse, angles in, and puts it in off the glass. A big aggressive move there from Wesley Burse. His second field goal gets him to 5 points, and Bethel now turns up the full court press. They trail by 10, 44-34. Burse will pick up Kinsey in the Bethel man-to-man as Taylor reverses it far side with Bailey Hester on the floor along with Luke Huffer. Furman, Kinsey, and Clayton to round out the 5. Jabbing Furman. Back to Clayton near side with a mismatch with Green guarding him. Left side high Furman. Can't let it go over the big man Hurt. Trying to drive in here. Attacks off balance. Bailey Hester fakes a 3. Step back left side 3 is skipped off the rim. And this place would have gone insane if Hester could have knocked it home. Missed the last 2 years with no games. Ball turnover. Kinsey gets it. Gets bumped from behind. And now Taylor can regroup with 42 seconds left in the half. Helter-skelter play. Kinsey likes that. Clayton, a pitch out to a Furman 3. You knew what was going to happen when Furman let her fly. 4 for 5 from deep. Welcome back, Caden Furman. You can hear him clapping in the background. Driving and scooping and scoring is Zach Owens, their leading scorer, finally making his presence known. Kinsey will slow it down as the shot clock turned off with 10 seconds left to go in the half. Taylor has led the entire way. They have not trailed. Furman has been white hot in the half. Oh, it skips halfway down and out. Burse gets it with 2. From the other end of the floor, it's flung off the high right of the backboard from the other end by Jake Johnson. But Taylor finishes shooting 55% from the floor in the first half, and they take a double-figure lead to the locker room, leading 47-36 here on the Trojan Sports Network. Stay right here for a special presentation for Taylor Hall of Famer Tim Burkholder.
At this time, please direct your attention back to the court to take a moment to honor Dr. Tim Burkholder and his family for his 51 years of service to Taylor Athletics and Taylor's men's basketball team. Tim is joined today by his wife Caroline, his oldest daughter Jolene, her husband Matt, and their children Caleb and their wife Bridget, and Caleb and Chelsea, his youngest daughter Allison, her husband Jim and their children Allie and Kaylee, and his son Drew, his wife Angie, and their children Charlotte and Grayson. Tim has worked the game clock at home Taylor men's basketball games for the past 51 years and spent 43 years as a professor here at Taylor. Tim has served in numerous additional roles during that time, including working as TU's faculty athletic representative for 27 years, representing Taylor on the NAIA National Awards and Hall of Fame Committee for 17 years, and serving as the chairperson of the Taylor Athletics Committee for 13 years. Tim further represented Taylor on the NAIA and Mid Central Conference Faculty Athletic Representation Committee for over 15 years and was inducted into the Taylor Athletics Hall of Fame for meritorious service in 2014. We are pleased to recognize Dr. Tim Burkholder and his family today and are presenting him with a plaque. as a show of our deep appreciation for his support of Taylor Athletics over the past 5 decades. Ladies and gentlemen, please join Taylor Athletics and Taylor men's basketball team in thanking Tim and his family for their service.
Josh Andrews before they take on Bethel here this afternoon inside Odell Arena. Let's just jump right into a tough one on Tuesday. Actually, before we get to that, how much time have you spent snowing the Andrews compound driveway these last couple days with the snowpocalypse?
A lot, man. It's been a busy week that way, and we had to get up here for practice and just duty calls. So I got a good workout in there, and then got the boy outside a little bit.
Was he shoveling?
Yep, just
big
helping
shovel
with
or
the
little
driveway.
shovel?
Yeah, pretty much making messes, and then Ava getting to play with friends and that kind of thing. So it's been welcomed. I know for other guys to have a little bit of break from class and that kind of thing is nice. So thankfully been safe and glad that the game's on and everything's good.
Yeah, the forearm's looking a little bit, the biceps looking a little bit bigger there from the old snow shoveling.
Lower back is hurting.
So we see you limping a little bit.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about Tuesday before all the snow came in here. You guys were at 55-50 in the second half. Then you start trading punches. The game gets tied at 69, and then Mount Vernon Nazarene closes on a 12-4 run to come away with the win. First time all year that your team has lost when scoring 70 points in the game. When you went back and looked at the film, what stood out to you, particularly about that second half?
Yeah, we had not much change from the way we talked post-game. A handful of defensive lapses where we just weren't as sure as we wanted to be. And Mount Vernon made us pay. They really did. They made the big shots, so we tip our hats to them. They made the big shots. We had 3 or 4 really good looks in the final couple of minutes that we did not make in the hands of guys we wanted shooting the basketball, and they made theirs. It created the separation. So now we were down 5, and you're trying to throw punches. So there's not a ton. We want to play with that spirit, like to tighten up a couple of defensive assignments and finish a few plays better today than we did on Tuesday. But if we can play with the same offensive balance and sureness with the ball, we think good things will happen for our group. And I think it takes wisdom to recognize that in our league. We got beat by a good team that made some big shots down the stretch that we didn't, and I was proud of our guys' effort. So we'll be right back and bounce back today.
Last 2 second halves at home for Jason Hubbard have been spectacular. He has scored 25 points in each of them against Huntington and Mount Vernon Nazarene. Had a season-high 32 in the game on Tuesday. He shot close to 60% in these last 2 second halves. He's been phenomenal, almost unguardable, shooting well over 50% in the last 4 games. Does he do anything now that still surprises you after coaching him for 4 years, particularly now being the guy that is scouted against with 2-3 guys coming at him every possession?
Yeah, he's. I'm very pleased with his maturity and the way that he's approached the game and is beginning to really let the game happen. I think great players, there's times where they have a first half explosion, but if you're preparing for the Trojans, I think it would be wise that especially early in the game, you're not letting him get to attack spots with comfortability or with ease. So I think playing in that with that understanding and that level of probably mental discipline, learn other guys got to do some scoring in the first half. It's got to be team activity, and when they close an action or they double or triple, as he's seen, making the easy pass and doing it right on time and getting to the next action. And I think the flow of the game then opens up, and that's why he's had these big second halves. And I'm fine if it continues that way. And he's doing a better job of managing that and just knowing how to lead. He's got to do it on both ends of the floor. It's a big responsibility. He wants it, and I've told you this all year, we're close. We're close to getting to where we think this team can get, and a lot of it will fall on his shoulders and how he manages that.
One guy that played very impressively, I thought, in a very brief moment on Tuesday. If you looked at the box score, you would just go, oh, Bailey Hester played 1 minute. He didn't attempt a shot, and it was zeros across the board outside of that 1 minute. But he came up with a key defensive stop at the end of that first half. He has not played the last 2 seasons at all because of lower body injuries. What's it been like to see him get back on the floor and make an impact defensively like he did on Tuesday?
Yeah, and we praised him for that. I appreciate you seeing that. He had a big possession there before half. Maybe could have earned some more time in the second half, just the way we managed it. And then has been in a couple games here. Terrific teammate, great energizer, supreme athlete. Really has some things he can bring. So, there's a chance he's in the mix here down the stretch. We'll continue to approach it that way and see what he can do when duty calls. But and I'd lump in Grant Jones, the freshman, giving us a big couple of minutes and just being prepared. So I think that speaks to the buy-in of the guys, the character of this group, and certainly of Bailey that you mentioned, just to stay with it with all he's been through. He's a neat story and just a fantastic person. We're so glad that he stuck it out in our program. Hope he can have some success here down the stretch.
Let's talk about today's opponent, the Bethel Pilots. They're missing a big guy from a year ago, some guy named Travion Cruz, who was a walking triple-double. But they bring back a lot of the core of a year ago, just not the guy that was running the show in Cruz. But this is a team that defeated #1 Indiana Wesleyan in the national tournament, was knocking on the door of making it to the national championship game in a deep run at last year's national tournament. They've had a lot of experienced guys out there. How do you try to come back and win a game that you fell up at their place a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, they are a unique team in that when they're going, man, they are elite. They've got a couple of shot makers in Owens and DeHart that are really hard to contest. They can create space and get their shot off. It's a matter of taking away easy ones and then discouraging the runs that those guys can play in. And the rest of the guys aren't chopped liver. They've got big, strong playmaking forwards. They've got some tough, savvy guards. They're just a tough out that way. Even their loss to Marion the other day, down to the wire. So these guys can play. They play in the Crossroads League, so they're battle tested. You mentioned they've got older guys with a lot of experience. We're going to have to play. We know that. Our guys know that. We've got to play really good basketball. We want to limit runs. We're fine to play with pace. We don't want to get caught up in, at times, what can be helter-skelter seeming with the way they play. And they're great at it, and we're not great at that. So we've got to find the right balance today. Have a battle mentality, but we have to have a balance about how we play. And I think part of the balance is limiting Owens and DeHart from going off. So tough task, and we're up for it.
Josh, thanks for the time. Good luck against the Pilots.
Thank you.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online Tire Finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greeks Pizzeria, it's our taste.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body.
Back inside Odell Arena, the BSN Sports halftime report looks like this. Taylor shot 53% from the floor in the first half. They were 8 of 15 from 3 and 7 of 11 from the line and lead 47-36. Bethel was 14 of 30 from the floor overall for 47%. They were just 3 of 10 from three-point distance. They're one of the better three-point shooting teams in the Crossroads League. They were 5 of 8 from the stripe. Taylor had 3 in double figures, led by Caden Furman's game-high 17 points. Hubbard had 13, Yoon had 11. Hahn had 4, and Clayton had 2. Scoring a little more dispersed for Bethel, 3 was 7, Griffith, Aerts, and Edwards. 5 for Burse, 2 for Dehart and Hunt, 2 for Johnson, 2 for Owens, 2 for Sudicum. Green played but did not score. Bethel starts with the ball here in the second half. They go from left to right. They're in blue, white numbers, white letters. Dehart got into the air, goes off to Edwards. Sudicum reverses it near side. Aerts goes around the screen, got right to the rim, but bluffed a wide open lefty layup. He got a humongous screen that broke him from the clutches of Jason Hubbard, but he couldn't finish the little lefty bunny. And now Taylor will open up near side. Hubbard rips on Hunt, got to the left block, spins, just moves his way in, throws a circus shot up that just rolled off the rim. Hubbard looks back for a foul that will not come. So both teams quickly, under 40 seconds into the second half, 0 of 1 to start. A 3 already for Aerts today, and will remain at that. Hubbard had it tapped away from him. He slaps it into his own hands. That's his 8th board, as Aerts now 1 of 3 from long range. The starters back on the floor for both teams. That means we see Jackson Lewis, who jitterbugs and has the ball tapped into the air and out of play, trying to find Yoon in the near corner. So it's Aaron Hahn, Jason Hubbard, Gavin Yoon, Jackson Lewis, and Caden Furman. Bethel counters with their starting 5, Garrett Sudicum and Jared Dehart in the backcourt, Nathan Aerts, Trent Edwards, and Brandon Hunt in the front court. Baseline left Yoon, floating it back out to the near sideline, and Lewis. Taylor clad in white, they shoot on the basket to our left. Hahn to Furman, who had the game-high 17 in the first half, has found his shooting rhythm after being cold for the last month. Block right, caught in trouble, trying to find help. Out to the hash mark. Hubbard contested 3-ball, air ball. Yoon got it with one, couldn't throw it away and find a teammate. And Taylor gives it away on the shot clock violation. After both teams shot the ball pretty well in the first half, they have been stone cold in the first minute and 13 seconds out of the locker room. The masked man of Trent Edwards, 6'3" sophomore out of Napanee, Indiana, one of the 3 guards out there for Bethel. Finds DeHart off of a screen, lost Lewis, off balance, but a dreadfully late whistle comes across from us. That ball hit the floor, and then the whistle was called. Our referee didn't even know who the call was on, knew it was a foul, couldn't see the number. It's Jackson Lewis, and that's the 3rd on the Trojan starting point guard. He'll have to go back to the bench less than 90 seconds into the second half. And a 3-shot trip here for Jared DeHart, one of the more deadly free throw shooters in the Crossroads League at 84%, tied for 5th best, and he'll calmly make the first one. We've seen that a lot over the last couple of years where calls come just incredibly late. A ball will roll off the rim, be rebounded by an opposition, and then the foul call is called, the whistle calls. This one here, the ball hit the floor, and then the whistle came in. DeHart made the first 2. He's got 1 more to come. And he'll knock down all 3 of them. 5 for Jared DeHart, comes into the game averaging 16 per game. That's the 2nd most for Bethel on the year. Kinsey comes in to replace Lewis. Quickly up the floor, near sideline to Furman as the Trojans break the backcourt pressure of Bethel. Yoon to Hubbard as the Trojans try to find their first scoring. Ertz defends. Hubbard wants to go baseline right. Circles his way in. Reverse layup off the high glass. Easy work for Hubbard. 15 for the All-American candidate. And Taylor's lead back up to 10 before DeHart switches a 3 in front of his own bench across from us. First triple for DeHart. He's on a personal 6-0 run. And now Kinsey caught in DeHart trouble in the backcourt. He'll wheel. He'll stop and now reverse his course all the way back out. 49-42, the Taylor lead. Furman looking for his first 3 second half. Yep. And Caden Furman is hot. 20 for Furman, 5th 3-ball. Welcome back, Furman. And the Taylor lead is a 10 spot. DeHart denied a 3 by Kinsey. Hurt works his way in, can't find an angle on Hahn, wrestles it in, halfway down and out, and the rebound will be the property of Furman, his 4th. 20 points for Furman, almost lost the ball near side. Came in the last 10 games, Furman averaging 12 and shooting below 30%. That's in the past here. Oh my, Jacob Kinsey with a dirty little pull-up jump shot from the left wing. Pretty little way to get your first hoop, and Taylor's lead back up to 12. DeHart, a long 3, back rim no, coming to the near sideline. Only one there is Ertz for the rebound for Bethel. DeHart drives on Kinsey, will miss the layup, but Kinsey gets called for the foul as he wanted to push off on DeHart. Second on Taylor in the half, and DeHart back to the line again. Did not go to the line at all in the first half. This is his 2nd trip. He'll get 5 free throws in the first 2:58 of half number 2. This one will catch the front rim as it looked like it might roll off. DeHart has scored all 7 of Bethel's points here in the second half so far, and now make it 8 on the swish. He's got 10 points, and now the 2nd leading scorer for the Pilots starting to find his rhythm after being quiet in the first half. 2-on-1 Taylor. Furman looking for his 7th 3. Oh, Caden Furman is on fire. 6th made triple for Furman, 6 of 8. He's got 23 points. Ertz to answer with a 3. Nope. Off the left side of the rim. Kinsey gets it. Up the floor, Hubbard. The only guy back is Edwards, so Hubbard will just abuse him and finish with a right-hand finger roll. A quick 5-0 burst for the home side. They lead by a game-high 15, 59-44. 3.5 into the second half. Edwards, baseline, thought about a long 2 inside the arc, runs around the Hurt screen, down to the big man, low pass, no one got there, and Hurt lays it in easily. Make it Hunt, excuse me. Bad defensive possession there for the Trojans as they fell asleep. Could have gotten the ball away from Hunt. Yoon passes up a 3, drives right to the rack for a right-hand layup that he missed. Hubbard tried to guide in the putback but was fouled by an exasperated and tired-looking Nathan Ertz. Furman quickly comes into Yoon, tell him to keep that head up. Good job by Furman to keep his backcourt mates positivity high. It's been a struggle for both Yoon and Furman the last month or so shooting. Furman's found his rhythm. Yoon has been really strong today. First free throw, Hubbard bangs in off the back of the rim. 5 of 5 from the stripe, 18 points, 9 boards, 4 dimes. Hubbard, good. Ertz exits for BU. Griffith comes in to spell him. He's got to take a seat with the 3 personal fouls. Second free throw from Jason Hubbard will be long off the heel. That's his first miss from the line today. That's just the 5th miss from the stripe for Taylor. And their lead remains at 14. Catch and shoot 3, D Hart. Taylor went under the screen, and thankfully for the Trojans, D Hart missed. Hahn with the rebound for the Trojans. Kinsey will have to play the majority of these point guard minutes with his buddy Lewis on the bench with 3 fouls. Now Hunt wants to try to slow down Hubbard. That's a sweet spot, right corner that he went to work with against Mount Vernon Nazarene. Misses on a turnaround off the glass, and Griffith has the rebound, his 5th for Bethel off the bench. Furman reads the pass, and now it's a foot race to the other end. Furman goes up for a right-hand finger roll. 25 for Caden Furman on 8 for 11 shooting, and the Trojan lead is at a game-high 16. D Hart, free throw line. Sudicum, far side of the masked man, Edwards. Good fake and drive. Off balance, right hand shot was short. Yoon able to rip the ball away from Griffith. Behind the back, bounces the angles to the near side. Taylor leading by 16, almost 5 minutes into the second half. Ripping baseline, Hubbard goes up. Head fake and one as he took Brandon Hunt to school. And just like that, Hubbard's got a quick 7 second half points, and the Trojans have a game-high lead of 18, outscoring Bethel 17-10 here in the second half.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Taylor's outscored Bethel by 7, 17-10 here in the second half, and they've opened up a game-high lead of 18 with Jason Hubbard going to the line for a chance at a 3-point play. 20 points on the nose for Hubbard. That's now 11 of the last 12, getting to 20. And he comes in with 4 straight games of at least 25. He has been just a different type of dude since the new year started in 2022. And he's getting some help today. Yoon's giving him 11, and Furman leading the cause with 25. Hubbard 5 of 6 from the stripe today. And 6 of 7. 21 for Jason. And Taylor leads by 19, 65-46 over Bethel, the team that's a game ahead of them for 7th place in the Crossroads League standings. Owens electrifies into the paint. Out to Burst, who fakes a 3. Wanted to step in from 15. Out to Owens, straightaway 3 is swished. Owens makes just his second basket of the day, and now Bethel will turn up the full court press with Burst guarding the inbound. Far corner, Kinsey. Owens right there on his hip, who keeps pushing him on the elbow. Or on the hip, excuse me. Kinsey hits the brakes as Owens goes flying by. Owens with 5. He leads Bethel in scoring on the year with 17. Furman turns, goes right at Griffith. Off-balance shot was missed on his backside. Furman will throw it up to Yoon. Taps it over with 2 hands to Hubbard, who almost lost the dribble. Now trying to go one-on-one. Burst. Off-balance shot. Missed it, but Burst got his hands caught in the cookie jar. And that will be number 2 on Burst and number 3 on Bethel in the second half. Wonderful verticality defense by Janai Griffith, who grimaces now. Went straight into the air. He and Furman give each other a high five, knowing no ill will was there. Griffith went straight into the air, and Furman threw it off the side of the backboard, and then the ball came right back down into his lap as he was sitting on his backside, able to get the ball high in the air to Yoon. Hubbard will miss the free throw here, rattles it out. Second miss from the line today for Jason. Furman will take a breather. Niehaus comes in for the first time in the second half. 14:22 to go, second half. Taylor leads 65-49 after the Zach Owens three-pointer. Played just 7 minutes in the first half. Missed the season about the back half of 2 years ago after suffering a left knee injury. Hubbard will miss both. A rare 0 for 2 trip for Hubbard at the line, who comes in at 74%. Score remains at 65-49. Taylor Dehart around the screen, got into the air, threw it off the backside of Griffith, stolen off the floor. Kinsey, this man can really go. Near side, Yoon goes right to the rim. Circus layup for Gavin Yoon from left to right. A wonderful move from Yoon in midair. Owens with Kinsey on his back, off balance. Clayton pokes that ball away as Goins tried to work the screen and roll with the big fella Griffith. Hunt out, Ertz in for Bethel, Kinsey out, Lewis back in playing with those 3 fouls, and a deserving ovation for Jacob Kinsey, who has got a different type of gear when he gets in the open floor. 13:55, it feels like we played a lot longer here in the second half. Dehart takes the inbounds left side circle. Ertz looking burst his way with a mismatch against the smaller Niehaus. Instead, Dehart wants to dance with Yoon. Baseline left pass out to Griffith. Sets a screen, rising from 2-point range. A long 2 in the corner on the quick release from Dehart is nothing but net. 12 for Dehart, 10 here in the second half. He has scored the majority of Bethel's points. He has scored 10 of the 15. Hubbard right to the rim! Oh my goodness! Missed, and then Clayton turns around and puts it in. But there was a moment where Jason Hubbard almost put Janai Griffith on the internet until the end of time. Oh my goodness. Taylor ahead 69-51 as Clayton able to clean up the misses. We all caught our breath, and then Burst able to hit a contested 3 on the far side with Niehaus defending. Taylor's lead is 15, 69-54 as we all try to catch our breath from that Hubbard slam. He looks for a foul that will not come. Timeout on the floor for Bethel, their first. Good response from Burst on his second made triple of the day. He makes just 1 per game. He's doubled that this afternoon. Taylor's lead is still 15 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Out of the Bethel full timeout. They did not use a single timeout in the first half, so they have 2 30s and 3 fulls. Taylor used 1 30 in the first half. They have 4 fulls left. Taylor leads by 15 as everyone's still looking on their phones on the almost breaking internet dunk from Hubbard. Niehaus double teamed here. Now they'll double team Hubbard as he dribbles away from pressure, trying to slip it through. He'll throw it to the backcourt, and Taylor will turn it over for just the second time here in the half. Good half-court trap here for Bethel. And now the Trojans have to regroup. They kind of stopped playing after the Hubbard dunk didn't go down, and it's allowed Bethel to claw their way back in, or they trail by 15. Yoon exits for Taylor. Jeff Clayton or Furman back in for the Trojans with some tape on that left forearm. Dehart stepped back through over Lewis, fouled him on a 3, and that was just a crafty move from the senior Dehart against the freshman Jackson Lewis. That's Jackson's 4th. And now the Trojans have got to get their wits back about them. Third one on Taylor here in the half. But now Jared Dehart, and you heard in our halftime conversation with Taylor head coach head coach Josh Andrews, Lewis will exit for the foreseeable future with those 4 personal fouls, and now it's going to be Jacob Kinsey having to carry the weight. But Coach Andrews talked about the ability of when shooters get hot for Bethel, they are elite. Well, Dehart is now entered into elite category, scoring 14 of his 16 here in the second half. He's got 14 of the 22 for Bethel here so far. And the Trojan lead, which was once nearing 20, is now down to just 11 at 69-58. Kinsey open right side. Burst daring to take a 3. Kinsey will pass it up. Crossing over to the baseline. Into Jeff Clayton for a 2-hand slam. That will bring the juice back inside Odell Arena. Nifty find from Kinsey. Dehart couldn't get Kinsey to foul him. Griffith fakes a handoff as he palms the ball mid-post left. Turning the corner is Johnson, but he traveled as he skipped into it before dribbling. Turnover number 7 for Bethel, their third of the second half. It's been a clean game in that category from both sides. 71-58, the Taylor lead. Again, their lead has been as close as 18 or 19 here in this half. Kinsey, Hubbard, Niehaus, Clayton, Furman. And Furman has come back to life today. Kinsey open on the near side wing, defended by the long Jake Johnson. Niehaus bouncing it into Hubbard against the shorter Dehart. Griffith right there to help. Hubbard goes up. Shot was knocked out of his hands, and now there is a late foul going the other way against Bethel. It was going to be Griffith or Dehart. They'll get Griffith for the reach-in on the rip-through jump shot try from Hubbard. Second on the big man from the UK, number 4 on Bethel as the shot clock will set to 20 on the Taylor half court. Hubbard, baseline, trying to turn the corner. Ertz, and they'll get Ertz on the block, and that's the 4th on him. Ertz has been the primary defender at 6'6", 210 against Hubbard today. And now who will third-year head coach Steve Draben go in and try to slow down Hubbard? It's going to be the freshman Brandon Hunt. Ertz also exits the leading rebounder for Bethel and their third leading scorer, 12 points and 7 rebounds a night. So Hunt's got to pick up his weight here as they find Furman right corner on the toes for a 3. That one's long. Griffith had it, lost it out of bounds on the tap from Niehaus. Well, they'll say that Niehaus touched it and it hit the baseline before it went off the mitts of Griffith for a second time. Just a third miss from 3 for Furman today, now 6 of 9. And Bethel comes the other way, still 11 and change left to go. Dehart trying to get another 3, and Taylor went under another one, and Dehart hit it again. 3 of 5 from distance is Dehart. He's got 19 points. He's the only one with more than 7 for Bethel, and he scored over 90% of their points in this second half. That draws the Pilots back to within 10. Taylor with the ball from right to left and white. Clayton, right side arc, wants to hand off to Hubbard, turns the corner. Hubbard, 18, right wing, short, right side burst will clean up the miss for Bethel. The Pilots trying to cut their deficit down to single digits for the first time since the first half. Griffith on the left block against Clayton. Hubbard there to help. Griffith palms the ball in his right hand, now backs down Clayton, bully ball. His shot was blocked by Clayton, and then Furman gets it up. Griffith is slow to get back up. It's 5 on 4. Furman looking, he's got guys open. Niehaus gets it, then goes right side to Kinsey. Griffith guarding Niehaus with Johnson trying to defend Clayton. Claps, handoff Furman. Couldn't let a three-point shot go near side. Between the legs bounce, now a lefty drive as Furman tries to isolate. Kinsey to the rack. Near side, Clayton passes up a baseline jump shot. Hubbard will rattle in a free throw line J. Jason Hubbard, 23 for him. 10 in the second half. Timeout on the floor for Taylor as Bethel head coach Steve Draben all the way out on the floor, perplexed about why a foul was not called against Janai Griffith on the other end of the floor. 10:38 to go second half. Taylor's lead back up to 12.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Taylor still shooting the ball really well. They're 54% for the game. Bethel is at 47%. Taylor 53% from three, their best three-point shooting game of the year so far. The Trojans came in last in the Crossroads League at 33% three-point shooting. Also last in points. The Trojans have already blitzed by that with 73. They came in averaging 65. They were 7-0 before Tuesday when scoring at least 70 points. They're now 7-1. Trying to get to 8-1 here, leading 73-61. Dehart's been a magician here in the second half. Kinsey fights over the screen of Griffith that denies Dehart an open look. Right baseline, Griffith with Clayton all over him. Griffith, lefty bounce. Will give it outside to Dehart. Points where he wants Griffith to set the screen. Lost the dribble to Dehart. Far side Johnson. Griffith cuts off balance. Clayton pushed him on the back, and Griffith banked it in and will get the foul. Griffith having a really nice game off the bench. 3 points above his season average of 6. Will go to the line for a chance at the and one. Clayton will check out. That's his second. The fourth on Taylor after halftime. And Griffith with an opportunity to cut the Bethel deficit to single digits since the first half. Griffith's been good from the line, and that continues. He is 4 of 5 from the stripe today. 10 points for him, second pilot in double figures. He'll check out for the point guard Garrett Sudicum, but Griffith shoots just 64% from the line and averages just 6 points. So he's got 10 points, and he's 4 of 5 from the line today. Taylor's lead down to 9 as the Trojans break the backcourt pressure. Hubbard trying to go end to end, and that'll be a block on Burst as he was backpedaling. I don't know how Jason Hubbard found an extra gear, but he did. And Burst was backpedaling, got caught on his heels. Third one on Burst, number 6 on Bethel. The next one puts Taylor in the 1-1. Niehaus out, Gavin Yoon in. Yoon 50% from the floor, 5 of 10 overall, 3 of 6 from 3. He's got 13 points. Good bounce-back game here for Yoon. Hubbard hands off to the inbounder Kinsey as we hit the halfway point of the second half with Taylor's lead down to 9. Furman right in. Beautiful cut in the lefty finish on the find from Hubbard. How many has Furman got? He's got 27. Taylor's lead double digits. Going in Dehart. Foul on the take by Kinsey. And Hubbard telling Kinsey, don't worry, I was coming in to destroy that shot out of bounds. But Kinsey got him on the arms before the block could come in from Jason Hubbard. Second on Kinsey, number 5 on Taylor, and Dehart back to the line where he's been automatic this season, and he's 6 of 6 from the line today. Dehart's been phenomenal in the second half, now 7 of 7 from the line. 20 points for their second leading scorer. He had 16 in the second half in the comeback loss at Marion earlier this week. Kinsey out, Niehaus in, so that means Yoon will probably switch and take over the point guard duties. Remember, starting point guard Jackson Lewis on the bench, saddled for Taylor with 4 personal fouls. Dehart, free throw, front rim, no. Hans there for the miss. First miss from the line today for Dehart. He had made his first 7. Hubbard finds an extra gear right side. Dehart cuts him off, so does Burst. Hubbard keeps his dribble alive, now picks it up, double team. Far side Niehaus. Furman was open. They couldn't get it to him without the pass being stolen. Yoon out near the hash mark, bouncing off to Hubbard with Hunt poking at the ball. Hand off Furman, get the Hubbard screen. Furman between the legs, bounce, rising from mid-range, off the rim. Hahn had it, poked away. He and Yoon run into each other, but they get the offensive rebound as Taylor. Burst guards Yoon all the way out near the sideline. Furman will run the show with Sudicum defending him. Left side Hahn screen. Sudicum got too aggressive with the hand pokes. That's his second and number 7 here against Bethel. Janai Griffith unhappy with the call as that puts Taylor in the 1-1 with 9:18 left to go here in the second half. Furman with 27 points today. Remember, his career high was 39 at Huntington earlier this year. The third best free throw shooter in the Crossroads League makes the first. He's had 11 in the second half. That's to 28 for him now. A wonderful comeback game for Caden Furman after averaging just 12 points and shooting 30% in his last 10 games. Front rim gets that home court roll. 29 for Caden Furman. And Taylor's lead back to 12 as Dehart will try to run and get away from Jason Hubbard. Burst almost travels near side. He kept that right toe down by the slimmest of margins. Johnson trying to cross over, got bumped from Niehaus, missed the shot, and then that foul comes in so mercifully late that the ball was coming off the rim after it was missed. That's the third or fourth time that's happened today, and that is just a crime. Niehaus bumped him, yes, but call the foul if it's a foul. Don't wait to see if the ball goes in before you blow the whistle. Second on Niehaus, sixth on Taylor. First for Johnson, front rim. That one came in hot and kissed off the glass and went home. 3 points for Johnson, all from the line, as Zach Owens will not check in for Bethel, and now he will. Johnson swishes the second, 4 for him, all at the line. And here comes Zach Owens, who leads the team for Bethel in 17 points, but has just 5 today on 2 of 4 shooting, and he has been used sparingly. Taylor's lead down to 10, 77-67, as they go from right to left in white. Bethel defends man-to-man in blue. Hubbard wanted the backdoor cut to Furman, said he'll flare out near side. Right side Hubbard screen, Burst will guard Furman. Now 2 defenders with Sudicum guarding Furman. 12 to shoot, Hubbard trying to go up and under on the drive, lost it, left block turns, Burst just slipped away, and Hubbard laid it in easily. 25 for Jason, 12 in the second half. And every time Bethel gets to within 10, the Trojans push it back up to 12. Johnson from mid-range, a swish as the Trojans went underneath the screen, and that one nicely shot by Jake Johnson. A 4-0 run for him on his first field goal. Full timeout Bethel as they trail by 10 with 8:30 to go second half.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Second half with 8:30 left to go. Here in the second half, Bethel's outscored Taylor by 1 here after halftime, 33-32. Bethel shooting it 9 of 17 from the floor are the Pilots. The Trojans 13 of 23, but Bethel's made 3 more threes than the Trojans, 5-2. And Dehart's been an animal for Bethel. 18 points on 4 of 6 shooting and 2 of 4 from 3. He leads the way for the Pilots with 20. Griffith has 10 off the bench. 29 for Caden Furman, 25 for Hubbard, 13 for Yoon. The 3 double-figure scores. Taylor almost gives it away in the backcourt. They got 5 to get it across. As 3 Pilots there regarding Yoon, Furman, and Hubbard. Taylor avoids disaster as they go from right to left in blue, leading by 10. Niehaus, right side handoff Yoon. Johnson guards him in the BU man-to-man. Hahn will hand off to Hubbard as Burst will guard him, 10 to shoot. Near side Furman, open 3 over Sudicum in his grill. Caden Furman has got 32 points, and the Trojans lead by 13. Have a day, Caden Furman. Backdoor cut, Sudicum blocked at the rim by Hahn. And now Sudicum caught, far side, this will be Hunt. The Chan is defense from some young fans across from us. Hunt goes in, trying to get the block was Hubbard, couldn't get the shot. Hunt rebounded by Hahn. That's rebound number 6 as Yoon will glide to the front court. Unbelievable shooting day for Furman. He's 7 of 10 from downtown. 1 off his career high in threes made. Double team Hubbard. Lost it, kept it away from 2 defenders. Down the lane goes Grant Niehaus for a right-hand lay-in. 7th assist for Jason Hubbard, and we might be on triple-double watch for 0. Defends Owens, turned it over, off the floor. Hubbard says thank you very much, and now I'll go for a run. Back tap on Burst, that's number 8, and number 4 on Burst. A bad foul to take for Burst, as he's been the guy that's been tasked with guarding Hubbard ever since Ertz picked up his 4th personal foul. But Burst will stay out there as it's Dehart coming back in to replace Sudicum. The bucket for Niehaus is first of the day. Griffith at the scorer's table. They'll let him enter before the front end of the 1-and-1. He'll get Burst, who's got the 4 personals. No one else with more than 2 fouls for Bethel. The only one in foul trouble for the Trojans is Jackson Lewis, who's got 4. Jacob Kinsey comes in to spell Niehaus. 3 rebounds and the layup for Grant today. Done a lot of dirty work out there for the Trojans. Hubbard 6 of 9 from the line, trying to get back on schedule at the free throw line. A baby cries out across from us. That will maybe throw off Hubbard's rhythm at the line. He's now missed 3 free throws in a row. Just 6 of 10 from the stripe is Jason. Switches on DeHart, does Hubbard. Fumbling an open look at 3 was Hunt, and then Hahn gets his legs caught underneath. That's number 3 on Hahn, and the 7th one on Taylor. Both teams in the penalty for free throws. Brandon Hunt just 4 points today. Freshman averages 11 on the year in his freshman year. He's got a 1-and-1 here. Hunt shooting 82% from the line this season. He's 0 for 1 this afternoon. And there's his first on a swish. 5 for Hunt, who was rated as the 39th best player coming out of Michigan a year ago and the 8th best powered forward by PrepHoops.com. Trying to make it a 13-point deficit, and he does with a pair of swishes. Good-looking stroke there from Hunt. And for the first time today, Life Granville will come in. He's junior out of Sugar Land, Texas, transferred in from Oklahoma Wesleyan. In his 3rd year at Bethel. Shakes his head as he has a quick little chat here with Caden Furman. The press is on. Taylor breaks it with ease, so Granville's got to quit talking to Furman and go guard Yoon with a double team. Wrapping to Kinsey to the league logo. Runs away from trouble and now off to Furman. 6:47 and counting. Taylor leads by 13. Pass deflected. Hahn backdoor cut. Kinsey right there. Right hand layup will roll off. Kinsey has his arm pulled by Owens, and there's no foul called. Kinsey was pulled out of midair by Owens, and now 2 in blue almost loses his footing on the other end. Furman trying to slow down DeHart, the 2 best players today for either of their respective teams, and Furman daps up DeHart saying good shot on a long 2 on a pull-up from the right side arc. Bethel back down by 11 with 6:18 and counting in the second half. Kinsey, Hahn, Yoon, Hubbard, and Furman. It's been rare that these 5 have played on the floor together this year for Taylor, but foul trouble has necessitated it. Hubbard drives, got fouled, no call, finishes anyway. He is just abusing players in the second half in his last 3 home games. 14 in the second half, 27 for the game, and every time Bethel gets close to making it single digits, the Trojans push it back to double digits. 13 right now at 86-73 home side.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Congrats to Damon Knowles and the men's track and field team just across the county at Indiana Wesleyan. Second week in a row that Damon has broken the school record. Went over 16 feet last week. Just sent us the video. Well done, Damon. The men's basketball team trying to pick up a big win and move into a tie for 7th with today's opponent, Bethel. Pilots the rock out of the Taylor timeout. They trail by 13. DeHart sprints to the corner, double team by Kinsey and Furman. Whips it over his head to Hunt. Off balance 3 is short off the near side. Kinsey rips it out to 3-on-2. Right side Hubbard going right at Hunt. Who got into the air, near side low pass Furman. Keeps his heels in the air. This ball's going to be tapped by Bethel and hit the near sideline and stay with the home side. It looked like for a moment it was going to be a 3-on-1, and it might be showtime for Jason Hubbard. Garrett Sudicum returns to run the point for Bethel. He takes the spot of Nathan Ertz, who's playing with those 4 personal fouls. 5:35 to go, second half. Taylor leads by 13. They've led by almost 20 here in the second half. Yoon, as the Trojans run the weave up top. Double screens, gets Furman open look at 3, off the back of the rim long. Hubbard knifes his way in for the rebound. No look, dish to Hahn, who wanted to go back to Hubbard. And then as the ball was being thrown out of bounds, a foul was called on Hubbard. A no-look dish from Hubbard. That's his 3rd personal on him, the 8th on Taylor, as he gave it down to Hahn. And just a little hesitation didn't allow Hahn to get the open look, so he tried to go back to Hubbard, whose back was turned. And I believe it'll send Garrett Sudicum to the line, and it will, for a 1-and-1. The 3rd on Jason, and that is something to keep your eye on. The Trojans' top scorer and rebounder. His 10th double-double of the year with 27 points and 10 boards, also has 7 assists. First of 2, as Sudicum makes the first. That's his first point here after halftime. Comes with 5:18 left to go in the half. Second one, good for Sudicum. Not the best free throw shooter at 67%, but both he and Griffith have shot above their averages today as Griffith will exit. Burst comes back in. Remember playing with those 4 personal fouls. And Jake Johnson back in for Bethel as well. Owens and Burst will apply pressure in the backcourt along with DeHart, Johnson, and Hunt. Now they back off as Kinsey will jog up the right side of the floor. Yoon out there with Kinsey, Hubbard, Hahn, and Furman. Mid-post left, Hubbard, right to Burst. Right-hand hook shot was no good, and Johnson will keep his heel off the baseline as he came in for the rebound. DeHart to Owens in transition. Furman cuts him off left side. Rising for a 3. Owens switched right in the face of Furman. Owens has been quiet today with just 8 points, 11 below his season average. Now Kinsey will wheel near side. Hubbard cuts into the paint. Far side, Furman, open look 3. Spins it off the rim as Furman has lost a little bit of his touch. Now 7 of 12 from distance on back-to-back misses. Taylor's lead down to 8. Owens caught on the baseline, double team, pivoting, trying to find help. Finds Hunt left block for an uncontested 2-hand dunk. Hubbard knew he had 4 fouls, didn't want to challenge it, and now the Trojan lead down to 6 in the blink of an eye. It had been 12 a moment ago. Now Burst will collide with Hubbard, and there's no foul. The ball knocked out by Burst. And the ball will be in the front court. Taylor takes a much-needed timeout. They have 2 fulls left as Bethel has come back. They're on a 7-0 run. They now trail by 6, 86-80, with 4:22 left in the second half.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
While the 2 Taylor starters, Caden Furman has 32, Hubbard's got 27. It's been the bench today for Bethel that's carried the water for them. They've scored 32 points compared to Taylor's 10. And a 7-0 run for Bethel's turned a 13-point deficit into just 6. With still plenty of time left with a little more than 4 to go here after halftime. Out of the full timeout, Taylor with the ball from right to left in white. Hubbard guarded by Burst, who's got 4 personal fouls. Yoon far sideline, behind the back dribble, double team, floats it near side, out of bounds into row 1 to Taylor volleyball player Sarah Scott. The 9th turnover for Taylor in the half, and Bethel scored 13 points off the previous 8 miscues. So Yoon will exit, and coming in will be Jackson Lewis, who's playing with 4 personal fouls. He's the only one he's in foul trouble along with Hahn and Hubbard. Hubbard the only one on the floor right now. And then the clock never started as Owens was jogging from the backcourt to the front court. So how many seconds will come off the clock? Taylor still shooting 53%. But Bethel has made it tighter, making 8 more free throws than the Trojans. They're 19 of 23 of the Pilots. Taylor's 11 of 19. So Taylor's gotten to the line 4 more times than they normally do. Bethel is 2 plus, their season average of 21. Still trying to figure out the clock issue here. How much time to come off? 3 seconds. So 4:02 game clock, 27 shot clock. Bethel on a 7-0 run. Owens in a contested 3, spins away from Hubbard. Clayton trying to come up and help. Owens, a shot blocked by Clayton, rebounded by Hubbard for his 11th miss. Hubbard 3 assists away from a triple-double. See what's going on. Euro step on burst, off glass, no, got it back to himself. His soft tap was no good. Clayton tapped it to Hubbard, who put it in, and Hubbard puts his hands in the air, wondering where the foul was. 29 for Jason, that stops the 7-0 Bethel run. DeHart angles in and slips the shot around Jeff Clayton. 82-80, the Taylor lead. This is not the style of play we've seen Taylor play a lot this season, but their offense has allowed them to play like this with their hot shooting today. 82-80, 88-82, the Taylor leads. 3:13 to go in the half. Turning the corner, Hubbard double team there. Hubbard picks it up as Owens came slashing in. Back to Kinsey, got deflected. Kinsey, a floater off the right side of the rim. Couldn't get it to go. Hunt with the rebound. Up the floor with trailing by 6 is Bethel. DeHart from way outside. An ill-advised shot as Hubbard will tap the ball away. Might have gotten poked in the jaw as Jake Johnson missed it. DeHart with the heat check of all heat checks. Pulled that with just less than 3 minutes to go and only down by 6. It would have been demoralizing if it went, but it did not. And there's a 5th foul on Burst as he slaps Hubbard from behind in the chest. So Burst is gone, and now they'll have to probably bring Ertz back in to defend Hubbard, who's got 4 personals as well. A frustration foul looked like from Burst as he got beat, went for the back tap and missed. So Burst's day concludes like this: 8 points, 2 boards, 2 assists on 3 of 4 shooting and 2 made threes. That's the 9th one against Bethel today with 2:40 left in the half. Ertz is back in. We'll set the Bethel 5 after the first free throw from Hubbard. Just 6 of 10 from the line today. He's missed 3 in a row and 4 of his last 5. Taylor really needs these 2 here as Odell gets eerily quiet. Front rim rolls in as Hubbard steps in and got it. He and Furman have combined to score 62 of Taylor's 89 points as Hubbard hits the 30-point mark for the 3rd time in the last 4 games. Jason Hubbard is different. Owens almost falls in, then does. And there's a lane violation, so Hubbard's going to get a redo. Owens, right off of Hubbard's left, was waddling on his tiptoes, and then just kind of fell off the pier. So Jason with a deep breath, trying to go 2 for 2 as Owens has given him a breather. Up, front rim, off. Still a 7-point Taylor lead. Still a 3-possession game at 89-82. As we have 2.5 remaining. DeHart has been nothing short of spectacular in the second half. Ertz, head of steam. Furman cuts him off, baseline right. Up top, Owens lost the ball between his feet. To the backcourt, was it tapped? It was not, and that's an over and back violation. The entire Taylor bench comes up to help up Jackson Lewis as he dove on the floor and went and took a slip and slide, head first slide into his own bench. Gavin Yoon returns for Jacob Kinsey, who's been a rock star today for the Trojans with Lewis getting caught in foul trouble. 7-point Taylor lead at 89-82. Furman with 32, his best game in over a month. And then Owens is going to foul Lewis. That's the absolute last thing that Steve Draben wanted for his club. 10th foul on the Pilots. Taylor in the double bonus with 2:22 remaining in regulation. Trojans trying to pick up their 5th Crossroads League win and move into a tie with this Bethel ball club and be just 2 games back of Huntington. Lewis's first one will barely get to the front of the rim. First shot that Lewis has taken all day. He's been saddled with foul trouble. Lewis has struggled at the line this year. The guard just 52%. Second one, front rim, no. Hahn taps it near side. Hubbard couldn't get to it because remember he's playing with 3 fouls. Taylor just 12 of 21 from the line. DeHart double team, wraps it back to Hurt. Johnson a 3 over. Furman no good, but they'll get Furman for the foul as he was saying that he blocked it. But they're going to call Furman for his first, the 9th on Taylor, and 3 free throws coming for the freshman Jake Johnson. It was a hard closeout by Furman, and they got him on the fingertips and maybe the knee. 3 for Johnson, who's a perfect 4 of 4 from the line today, and now 5 of 5. 5 of his 7 points have come from the stripe today. Second one is up and no good. Johnson comes in at just 68% from the line. Lewis out, Kinsey in for Taylor. He and Griffith have shot well above their season averages from the line today as the freshman knocks down the second. So Johnson goes 2 for 3, 8 points for him. Garrett Sue to come in to replace Zach Owens. Their leading scorer has been limited to 8 points on just 6 shots today. Comes in having 24 against Marion earlier this week, 17 per game the average. Taylor's lead back down to 5 at 89-85. Free throw shooting has been costly for Taylor as of late. They missed 3 of their last 4. Kinsey with a whole bunch of folks on the near side. Aerts guards Hubbard. Aerts guards Hubbard with the 2 fouls. Hubbard cuts, high pass, draws everyone in, down to Hahn, pass behind him, able to gather it. Nobody guards Hahn. He pulls from 15 feet and hits the uncontested jumper. Big bucket late in the game for Hahn on his first second half scoring. 91-84 with 100 seconds left. Johnson's 3 is short. Kinsey gets it, bumped by Aerts, and now the Trojans can run some clock. Hubbard up. Aerts all on him, playing with 4 fouls. The clock is Taylor's friend, leading by 7. With 1:26 left, bad pass in the air, intercepted by DeHart. Furman goes back, DeHart goes in for an uncontested lefty layup. Just a bad, soft pass from the Trojans. DeHart's now got 26, 24 in the second half. Timeout on the floor for whom? 1:19 left, and the Taylor lead down to 5.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Taylor had an opportunity to bring this game to under a minute, leading by 7, but not enough juice on the pass from Caden Furman. Was read beautifully by DeHart, who's been a rock star of the second half here, scoring 24 of his team high 26 after the break. He goes in for the layup. Bethel took the timeout. They've got a full and 2:30s left. Taylor has 2 fulls. Trojans have been outscored by 6 here in the second half. They've given up 50 points. But they led by 11 at the break. They lead by 6 right now, 91-86. As all but 2 players are in the backcourt here for Taylor as they move the ball from right to left. Kinsey, Furman, Hubbard, Yoon, and Hahn. For the 5 starters, Kinsey only non-starter with Lewis in foul trouble. Hubbard between the circles. Near sideline, Furman. Turns the corner, goes right down Main Street, and Furman's special afternoon continues. 34 for the sophomore, and Taylor's lead back to 7. Driving, Ertz got away from Hubbard and glasses it with a left hand. 9 for Ertz, his first second half scoring. 30-second timeout here for Bethel, and we're right back to where we were a few moments ago with 51 9/10 of a second left. Taylor's lead back to 5.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Taylor trying to snap a 2-game losing skid after dropping games to Marion and Mount Vernon Nazarene. And a win here would move Taylor into a tie with this Bethel club for 7th in the Crossroads League standings, and potentially move Taylor a game out of 6th as they came into the day 2 games back of Huntington. 5-point Taylor lead, 51 9/10 of a second left. No one really in foul trouble outside of Ertz and Burse, the 2 guys that have fouled out already for Bethel. No one has more than 2. The Trojans, on the other end, a different story. They lead by 5. They break the backcourt pressure with a lob to Furman. And here comes the half-court trap. 1 dribble, whips it near side to Niehaus. And a timeout taken by Taylor head coach Josh Andrews, who is really, really hot across from us. Takes his first of his last 2 full timeouts. 20 seconds between game and shot clock. 39 9/10 of a second left in regulation. 19 to shoot. Taylor with the ball in the front court, leading by 5.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
.39 9/10 of a second left to go in the second half. Taylor trying to defeat Bethel for the 5th time in the 9 years that Taylor head coach Josh Andrews has been in Upland. The Trojans had close to a 20-point lead about midway through the second half. Then DeHart and Owen started raining in shots for the Pilots. Niehaus will get it in from the near sideline in the front court for Taylor. Kinsey to the backcourt, gets the pass, guarded tightly by Jake Johnson. He'll wrap him up, and Bethel trying to play the advantages here. First on Johnson, as the Trojans have missed 3 of their last 4 free throws. Kinsey to the line. He has not been to the line yet today. First one is back of the rim. So the best he can do is make it a full 2-possession game at 6 points. Owens in for the offense. Two to come out. 37 7/10 of a second. Taylor still leading by just 5. Second one, front rim, no. Hahn couldn't tap it away. The Trojans have now missed 5 of their last 6 free throws. Still life for Bethel. Owens, a 3 to make it a 1-possession game, long off the heel. Hahn had it tapped right down to Hunt, who blitzed it in with the right hand. And now it's just a 3-point Taylor lead with 28 seconds left. 10 for Brandon Hunt. Bethel will take the full timeout. They've got 1:30 left. 3-point Taylor lead with 28 seconds left, trying to hold on here.
Well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. from our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Taylor has missed 3 of their last 4 free throws with opportunities to keep the game at 3 possessions. They're just 52% from the line today. On the other side, Bethel has outscored Taylor by 9 at the stripe, 29-26. And what was once a near 20-point lead for the Trojans has now been whittled down to just 3, with 28 seconds even left to go in the second half. Full court press put on by Bethel. Taylor in the double bonus. Furman dribbles away from a double team backcourt. Caught in trouble. Bethel screams for a travel that doesn't come. And then Johnson has to wrap him up around the waist. The entire Bethel bench beside themselves. Hands on head in complete and utter bewilderment that they didn't call the travel on Furman in front of them down to our right. Took almost 6 seconds off the clock, and now it's Furman to the line for 2. He's been Taylor's most impressive scorer today with 34 points. And this one misses off the back of the rim as well. Taylor was in this situation a year ago against Bethel when free throws down the stretch allowed the Pilots to come back and win the game on a game-winning shot by Travion Cruz. Taylor needs this one in the worst way possible. No Hubbard on the floor. Furman gets it, 35 for him, and it's a 4-point Taylor lead at 94-90. Shot clock off, 20 seconds left. Dehart, Yoon guards him. Dehart almost lost a dribble. Near side Johnson, off target left, air ball. Ertz has it ripped away from him, and it'll be rebounded by Niehaus down low, and that foul will put Niehaus to the other side with 14 and a half seconds left. No Hubbard, the Trojans' best on-ball defender. And a foul on Ertz as he'll foul out. Live stats already had Ertz out with 5, but he was still able to continue to play, so they must have given it to the wrong guy. So Sudicum will come back in, and Niehaus with an opportunity to push the Taylor lead to 6. Grant is 0 for 1 from the line today. And now 0 for 2 with 1 more to come. Taylor just 2 for their last 7 from the line. And 3 for 8. Big one for Niehaus, and the Taylor lead is 5 with 14 and a half seconds left. Near sideline, Sudicum. Taylor wants to Sudicum loses it. Hahn will steal it with 9 seconds left. He just got to get it across the timeline as Owen slaps at it. Hahn's got to get it across front court. Niehaus with 3 seconds left, and that's going to do it. The Trojans hold on for a 95-90 win over Bethel and move into a tie for 7th place in the league standings with these Pilots. An amazing scoring output, 35 for Caden Furman, 30 for Jason Hubbard, and the Trojans pick up their 5th Crossroads League win and are now tied for 7th in the league standings with Bethel. We'll be back to look back at this one on the Avanos postgame show next on the Trojan Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express, we're there, so you can be too.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes.
inside Odell Arena. Rick Johnson joined by the head coach of the Taylor Trojans. We talked about it in pregame. You guys have been so close. You were so confident in your guys. You guys went out and shot 53% from the floor, 50% from three, and hold on for a 95-90 win today. What was it like to be in that locker room after you guys finally were able to take it to the finish line?
Yeah, just good to get a win. As a coach, you're so critical of your guys. We want to finish better than that, but we haven't been on the winning side of things in a Crossroads League game as much in that situation. So we made some big plays late. I thought the layup by Caden Furman got just enough free throw shooting late. We'll be working on that as a team here coming into next week. But I thought we had great courage. It became confidence pretty quick in the first half. And maybe specifically Furman and Gavin Yoon coming out making big shots and kind of getting us going. And they're just such a dangerous team. You and I talked beforehand. They go in big runs and score in bunches. And we mentioned DeHart and Owens. I thought we did a good job on Owens. I don't think we did as well on DeHart. He's just a big-time scorer. And I didn't think it was much lack of effort. They really were gritty down the stretch and made us work for the win.
Second big second half in a row for DeHart after he almost brought him back to win at Marion earlier this week. But let's talk about Caden Furman.
Yeah.
Last 10 games, 12 points per game, 30% from the floor, and 24% from three. Today he goes 11 of 19 for 35 points and was 7 of 12 from three. He was cooking from the jump. He made his first 3 threes and 4 of his first 5. What worked for him so well today?
Well, some of it is the way they play. They're pressuring and they're kind of getting you playing fast. We knew that could get us some free scores and freeing him up and then playing with some confidence. So now the rim got bigger and the floor was spaced better. Thought it let Jay attack on the drive, let our guards get in the paint some, and got some good dump-offs to bigs or people falling to the rim. So the guy's ability to make shots from the perimeter, specifically Caden, but then Gavin really helped open up the floor. And, I think their style of play with a lot of pressure helps you do that. And, they kind of forced that, and then we had to answer and score it. It was good to see our guys score it.
You guys have been so turnover-prone this year, second most in the Crossroads League at 15. You had 4 Tuesday. You had just 10 today. And this was a much different team pressure-wise than what you saw from Mount Vernon Nazarene. How pleased are you that you guys were able to handle that pressure, particularly late when it can be pretty easy to get tight when you saw a 19-point lead almost.
Hey, and and you got guys in different positions. We were playing different personnel throughout the game. Jackson Lewis was in foul trouble the whole game. Put a lot of minutes on Jake Kinsey, who did a great job fighting defensively and getting us into our stuff and handling pressure. So for a young freshman to have to handle that in the role he's had, kudos to him, was huge for our team. Thought we were strong with the ball, and phrases we used, we pounced on catches. We didn't let them get hands on the ball, and it's big for our team. I think if we can take care of it and not turn it over and then build some confidence here shooting the ball, we think we're a really good ball team. So we'll celebrate this weekend, and then we'll try to keep building on this.
I'm glad you mentioned Jacob Kinsey. He has shown flashes of brilliance. I mean, that dude, he's probably one of the fastest guys already in the league with the ball in his hands from end to end. I mean, he gets going, and he is at the other end of the floor like that. Some
of it is just building that confidence, knowing that we're trying to let him have that flow, especially in the, not in closing time, just in the flow of the game. He made a great pull-up jumper off of a handoff or a ball screen in this corner.
And snapped it back, too.
Yeah, you kind of see the ability in his game, and we've seen that in him. It's why we recruited him. So that's going to keep coming as he has confidence and grows his game and understanding of what we want. But he was a gamer today. He's a big part of the success. Very, very happy for him.
What was it like to see Gavin Yoon come out, had 11 points in the first half, made 3 of his first 4 threes. He's been struggling. We talked about the other guys besides Jason, and the other guys showed a big day, particularly Yoon and Furman, like we were talking about.
Yeah, it's big. I'm happy for Gavin. That sophomore class, I don't know. You've mentioned that. I don't know about sophomore slumps and whatever. It's hard. Our league's really good. College basketball is hard. There's good players on every team. There's great coaches. It is scheming against you when you're a really skilled player, and there's no secrets in our league. There just aren't any. So you got to keep growing your game, and you got to have the mental toughness and the emotional toughness to play through when it's hard, and I feel like those guys are doing it, and I've been proud of them. I've enjoyed coaching them. I think the best basketball, I speak of that sophomore class specifically, it's ahead of them, and we're staying with them.
I really liked a couple of defensive plays from Niehaus today. I know he just is such a smart player. He had his only field goal that he just knew to cut, and Jason got him the ball, put it in, and He's a really good guy in the air, too, that we haven't seen a lot of yet.
He is such an instinctive player. He's just a gamer. He's a 3-sport standout in high school.
Yeah.
At a really good high school. So he's a guy, whatever he's playing, he's competitive. He gives you everything he has. I thought he had some big rebounds in the last couple of minutes, just being gritty, and we love that about him. That's why we recruited him. He is a blue-collar kid, and he is an awesome teammate. Our guys just love him. So it's just good to win. It's good to see our guys work so hard and get a little fruit for their labor, and hope it'll propel us forward.
He held Owens 9 points below his season average of 17. He's the 8th leading scorer in the Crossroads League. Why are you so good at slowing him down today? I'm sure Zero and White helps.
Yeah,
with that.
Zero helped, and then just the balance as a team. I thought for that one stretch they kind of played through DeHart, and as they should. He really hurt us, and but Owens is super skilled, so we really couldn't afford to have both of those guys go off. We didn't want either one of them to go off, but if we'd had Owens and DeHart doing their thing, they'd have been hard to take down today. So that was Team D, and happy for the guys, proud of that effort.
And then Jason, we were on triple-double watch there for a minute when he got to rebound 9, had 30 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists, and 3 turnovers. I think all 3 turnovers were in the first half. I mean, he's a different dude, isn't he?
He is. He's fun to coach, and one of the better dunk attempts I've seen in 17 years.
Okay. Can I stop you really quick? That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
How tough was it to try to bring your guys back? Because all of us here were kind of like holding on for dear life. Because that thing would have lived on the internet, until the apocalypse happens.
Yeah, it was loud. He might have hurt his wrist a little bit. He just he's a ferocious competitor, and he's still got room. I stand by that statement. He's got room to get better. He really is. So his best basketball is ahead of him. And he's a load, and he's carried us through a tough stretch, and now we get these guys playing together and confident. Hopefully it turns out some wins, but they're fun. Yeah.
We had people up here watching the replay while the game was going on to try to figure out what happened. And then when they realized that they did see what they saw.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd like to have seen it score, but I like the attempt, and I like his aggressive nature. So.
What was the line a couple years ago? Didn't he had an upper body injury, and asked him what happened. He goes, "So I jumped too high." And I looked at him, I go, "Jason, that's going to surprise you, but I've never had that problem before."
Sure. Yeah. He's different.
You guys are 8-1 when you score above 70 points. You got to 95 today. And normally against Bethel, we've talked about this in the past, you don't want to play up and down. Did that allow it today because you guys are making your shots at such a high clip?
Yeah, it puts you in a tough spot. We're trying to grow through some shooting slumps, as we have already discussed, for games, and you're breaking pressure, and you're finding guys for rhythm shots. So to me, that seemed like a recipe to break guys out of shooting slump, and it was a good coaching decision that way, but good playing won today, not coaching, and those guys made big shots, and that was a collective effort. So, again, I've said it, but I'm proud of them. I'm happy for them to get a big win today.
It was a fun one today. This place was packed. It was rowdy. It was going nuts. And congrats to the one you now guys move into a tie for 7th with Bethel in the league. And depending on what happens with Huntington Day, you might be just a game back of 6th with 4 to play the last 2 weeks. A lot of fun.
We'll keep pushing. Appreciate the sport. It was a fun atmosphere for all the people that were here today. It means a ton to the guys. We got different energy in the gym today. It was good.
Good luck at Spring Arbor on Tuesday.
Right, thanks so much.
That's head coach Josh Andrews. We're back to wrap it up next here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online Tire Finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Back inside Odell Arena for the final time here on the Ivanhoe's post-game shows. The Trojans snap a 2-game skid. They come away with a 95-90 win. The Trojans are now 8-1 when scoring at least 70 points this season. They are just 1-15 when they do not reach the 70-point plateau. The Trojans shot 53% from the field, 53% in both halves for the day, 35 of 66 field goals. They were 11 of 22 from 3 for 50%. The Trojans came in averaging just 8 made threes per game and just 33% from beyond the arc. And they shot out of their shooting woes in a big way here today against Bethel. The Trojans, where they slipped up a little bit, was their free throw shooting, just 14 of 27 from the stripe, including 7 of 16. The Trojans made just 2 of their last 8 free throws, and that's what opened the door for a Bethel comeback where the Taylor lead was at 7 for a while, and then the Pilots made it 3. The Trojans settled for a 5-point victory today. For Bethel, they shot 48% from the field, 50% after halftime, 36% from 3, 40 in the second half, and they made a lot of work from the free throw line after halftime. They were 16 of 20 from the stripe, 75% overall, 21 of 26, outscoring Taylor by 7. From the line today, the Trojans outscored Bethel by 6 from the arc. Taylor had 3 in double figures, led by Caden Furman's game-high 35 points, had 17 in the first half, 18 in the second. KJ finished 11 of 19 from the floor, 7 of 12 from 3. The 7 made threes is one off of a career-high set on Silent Night earlier this year. KJ came into the game in his last 10, averaging just 12 points and shooting 30% from the floor and 24% from 3. He broke out of that in a big way today, making his first 3 threes and 4 of his first 5 on his way to 7 made threes on the day. Jason Hubbard was on triple-double watch today. He had 30 points, 13 in the first half, 17 in the second. He was 11 of 24 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3, just 7 of 12 from the line, including 3 of 8 after halftime. Jason also completed the double-double. It was his 10th of the year. He had 13 rebounds, 7 in the first half, 6 in the second, and he finished with 7 assists for that triple-double watch. Gavin Yoon had a big game for the Trojans. They had 11 in the first half, finished with 13 on 5 of 10, shooting in 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, as the Trojans had 3 in double figures here today. For Bethel, they had 3 at the double digits as well. Jared Dehart had 26, 24 after halftime. For the marksman, 8 of 13 from the floors, 3 of 7 from 3, and 7 of 8 from the line. 10 for Brandon Hunt and 10 for Janai Griffith in a reserve role. Played 16 minutes, was 3 of 5 from the floor and 4 of 5 from the free throw line. 9 points for Nathan Aerts before he fouled out. Was 4 of 10 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3. Also had 5 rebounds. 8 points apiece off the bench for Zach Owens, their leading scorer, who averages 17 per game. Wesley Burse had 8 before he fouled out, and Jake Johnson had 8 in the freshman coming off the bench as well for Bethel. 7 for Trent Edwards and 4 for Garrett Sudicum. Drew Green and Life Granville played but did not score. Taylor out-rebounded Bethel today by 12, 42-30, including 13-6 on the offensive glass. The Trojans had a slight edge in second-chance points, 11-9. Taylor assisted on 15 of their 35 hoops. Bethel assisted on 13 of their 30 baskets. Taylor was led in assists by Jason Hubbard. No one else had more than 2. 4 guys had 2 assists for Bethel: Sudicum, Edwards, Burse, and Johnson. Taylor had 6 steals, 2 of them from Jacob Kinsey. Bethel also had 6 steals, 2 apiece from Sudicum and Dehart. Both teams turned it over 10 times. The Trojans 5 times in the second half, Bethel 6. And that led to 15 Bethel points, just 9 for the Trojans today. Points in the paint in favor of Taylor at 40-32. Bench points was the big number today for the Pilots. They outscored Taylor by 23 in reserve action, 34-11. We had 1 tie. That was at 5. We had no lead changes as the Trojans led the whole way outside of the 5-5 tie. And they come away with a 95-90 win today. The Trojans moved to 9-16 on the year, 5-9 in the Crossroads League. Bethel falls to 12-14. 5-9 in the league, as well as the Trojans now tied with the Pilots for 7th in the Crossroads League standings. And depending on what happens with Huntington's game today, the Trojans could find themselves a game out of 6th. Taylor is at Spring Arbor on Tuesday before coming back for their final 2 home games of the year. Here next Saturday against Grace, and then a week from Tuesday, they are here against Indiana Wesleyan. So that'll do it from here inside Odell Arena. Big thanks to Bryn Butchkowski, our on-site producer, and Caroline Pascal, our camera director today. The executive producer of the Trojan Sports Network is, as always, Cameron Andry. Once again, our final score, the Trojans hold off a late second-half effort from the Bethel Pilots. They win today by a final of 95-90. They move to 9-16 on the year, 5-4 in the Crossroads League. Bethel 12-14, 5-9 in the league as well. Both teams now tied for 7th in the Crossroads League standings. This has been a presentation of Taylor Men's Basketball on the Trojan Sports Network. Until we talk to you again, we say good night and have a good weekend and good afternoon. from Upland, Indiana.